if you are planning on using Google Slides for your electronic African research book, then this is a little video to help you with some tips and tricks to get you started. So if you don't know how to get to Google Slides, you need to go to open up your browser and then go to the left-hand corner, the little waffle, or as those 9 little squares that says Apps, and go ahead and click Apps. And then it's going to take you to your different Google apps. So we're going to click on the yellow button that says Google Slides. And that's going to open you up to the Google Slides section of your Google Drive. And then you're just going to click blank to create a new blank Google slide. And here we go. So using Google Slides is super simple once you know a couple of tricks. Number one is I want you to make sure you change this title. So if you're doing, let's say you're doing Ethiopia, you do Ethiopia Africa book. But for Mrs. Thomas, I'm going to write Kenya Africa book because I am researching Kenya. So your slide number 1, this is going to be your cover slide. So you're going to include the title of your country and then the title of your name, just like this. I would not worry about changing the colors and the backgrounds and things like that until you need to. So notice how I just immediately started typing. I didn't worry about the colors or the themes yet. But the cover of my book should have a few things. It should have the title. It should have my name. It should have lots of color because covers of nonfiction texts are really colorful and they appeal to the eye. And it should include at least 1 or more pictures that represent what the book is about. So I'm going to start first with color. So if you look up here, there's a little toolbar where it says background, layout, theme, transition. I'm going to click background. I would like the background of your slide number 1, your cover, to be a solid color. So I'm going to go to color and click that little down arrow, and I have all these different colors that I can choose from. I can also choose gradient colors if I want to. Gradient just means like they're kind of faded a little bit. So I'm going to choose this really cool orange color. I really like that a lot. It's kind of like faded up here at the top, and that's going to be my background. So immediately I have color. I can also change the color of my text if I want to. In order to do that, I have to go up here to these 3 little dots. And those 3 little dots take me to all these different buttons, and then the letter A is my text color. So I can change that to a bright yellow color, which that looks really cool. And I think I'm going to also change my name to that same really cool yellow color. That looks something like that. Awesome. Kenya by Mrs. Thomas. So I have my title, my name, and I have bright colors. My last step to my cover is simply to add 1 or more pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where it says insert, because we're going to be inserting something into our slideshow. The very first option is image, and there are a couple of options for you to insert pictures. You can upload pictures from your computer. They have to be saved. If you don't know how to do that, I wouldn't do the upload from computer. The easiest option is search directly from the web. So it actually takes you over here to Google Images. And then we are going to search, and I'm just going to search Kenya. And it takes me to 3 pictures of flags. It takes me to a picture of the city. These pictures aren't like amazing quality, but I do like the flag. So I'm going to click on it and then click this bottom button where it says insert. If you don't like any of the pictures of the Google search, that automatically puts it into your screen, then you are more than welcome to go on Google and search and then save it to your desktop. And if you need help with that, I can help you as well. So I have 1 picture. It kind of looks a little empty, right? Because this slide is so large. So I definitely want to include 1 more picture. So I'm going to go back to insert. I'm going to go back to image. And I'm going to click search the web again. Now, because I'm an expert on my country, I know that there is a really popular safari in Kenya. So I'm going to click safari. And that's going to represent, oh, this is a cool picture with 2 zebras in a safari. I'm going to include that on the title of my slide. Notice how large this is. You just have to take the little corners. When it changes into 2 arrows, it makes it smaller, and then I can move it where I want to. I might have to make this. Notice how it's like overlapping my name. I'm going to move my title up here. I think I'm going to move my name up a little bit too, so that it has enough room. And there we go. So I have my picture of my safari that represents my country. And then I have a picture of the flag, which represents my country as well. Now I could add more pictures. I'm a huge fan of pictures, so I could add one more picture here or there. The minimum requirement is one picture that represents your country. The minimum requirement is the title and your name, and then adding some color. So I would say this is a pretty successful cover of my book. So when I print out my Google slide, this will be the very first page of my nonfiction text. So that is how you use Google Slides. As you continue to add more, you'll go to this plus sign that says New Slide. When you click on New Slide, that's going to automatically take you to a heading and a text box. If you want a specific, I'm just going to click the delete button. If you want a specific slide, you would go with New Slide with Layout, and it takes you to all of these really cool layouts. So my next slide of my book is going to be my table of contents. So I think the best one for table of contents would be, I'm just going to do, actually I like the one we had with title and body. So that will be my next slide. So every slide that I add will add to an additional page, and I'll use the same functions with color, background, pictures, depending on what the requirements are. So make sure that you are referencing this slideshow. You're going to work on your cover right now, and then if you finish your cover, you're going to move on to creating your table of contents, which I have a whole slideshow of everything you need to include in your table of contents, and I'll also have an informational video about your table of contents as well. So that is your introduction to Google Slides. If you have additional questions that were not addressed in this video, then you can feel free to ask me questions if you have them.